The U.S.-China trade war has escalated once again, marking another significant chapter in this ongoing economic conflict. China has announced a new set of tariffs on a wide range of U.S. imports, signaling its determination to counteract American trade policies. These newly imposed tariffs are set to take effect on March 10th, giving businesses a short window to prepare for the impact. The tariffs will range from 10 to 15%, affecting various sectors and industries. This move by China is a direct response to President Trump's recent decision to increase tariffs on Chinese imports, further intensifying the trade war. The U.S. tariffs target a staggering $200 billion worth of Chinese goods, aiming to pressure China into trade concessions. These tariffs were recently raised to 20%, adding more strain to the already tense trade relations. The ongoing trade war continues to create significant uncertainty in global markets, affecting stock prices and investor confidence worldwide. The new tariffs are the latest volley in an ongoing trade dispute that shows no signs of abating. This trade dispute began in 2018 when the U.S. first imposed tariffs on Chinese goods. President Trump initiated these tariffs, accusing China of engaging in unfair trade practices that harm the U.S. economy. He specifically pointed to issues such as intellectual property theft and forced technology transfers as key concerns. Intellectual property theft has been a major point of contention, with the U.S. alleging that Chinese companies have stolen American innovations. In retaliation, the Chinese government has imposed its own tariffs on American goods, aiming to protect its economic interests. The trade war has significantly strained relations between the two countries, leading to a series of tense negotiations and diplomatic standoffs. Beyond the immediate economic impact, the trade war has also disrupted global supply chains, affecting businesses and consumers around the world. American farmers and manufacturers have been particularly hard hit, facing increased costs and reduced access to key markets. Meanwhile, Chinese consumers are also feeling the pinch, with higher prices on imported goods and economic uncertainty. Economists warn that if the trade war continues, it could lead to a slowdown in global economic growth, affecting countries far beyond the U.S. and China. The interconnected nature of the global economy means that the repercussions of this trade war are felt worldwide, influencing trade routes and international relations. As both nations continue to negotiate, there is hope that a resolution can be found to end this costly and disruptive trade conflict. Until then, businesses and consumers on both sides of the Pacific will have to navigate the challenges posed by these new tariffs and the broader trade war. The outcome of this trade war will shape the future of international trade and economic relations for years to come. As the world watches, the hope remains that diplomacy and cooperation will ultimately prevail, leading to a more stable and prosperous global economy. For now, the world waits to see the next move in this high-stakes economic chess game. The trade war between the United States and China has been marked by escalating tensions and retaliatory measures. This economic conflict has had far-reaching implications, affecting global markets, businesses, and consumers alike. In July 2018, the Trump administration imposed tariffs on $34 billion worth of Chinese goods. These tariffs targeted a wide range of products, from electronics to machinery, aiming to pressure China into changing its trade practices. This marked the beginning of the trade war. The initial tariffs were just the first salvo in what would become a prolonged and complex economic battle. China immediately retaliated with tariffs on an equivalent value of U.S. imports. This included agricultural products like soybeans, which hit American farmers particularly hard. The situation escalated further in September 2018. The trade war began to take a toll on global stock markets, causing fluctuations and uncertainty among investors. The U.S. imposed tariffs on an additional $200 billion worth of Chinese goods. This second wave of tariffs expanded the list of affected products, increasing the economic pressure on China. China responded with tariffs on $60 billion worth of U.S. products. The retaliatory measures targeted key American industries, further intensifying the trade conflict. In December 2018, a 90-day truce was agreed upon. This temporary pause in hostilities was intended to allow both sides to negotiate a more permanent solution. This paused further tariff increases. However, negotiations faltered. Despite the truce, both countries struggled to reach a comprehensive agreement, leading to renewed tensions. The U.S. increased tariffs to 25% on the $200 billion worth of Chinese goods in May 2019. China retaliated. The trade war showed no signs of abating, with both nations digging in their heels and preparing for a prolonged economic struggle. China's new tariffs target a range of U.S. agricultural products. These products are already feeling the effects of the ongoing trade war. Soybeans, a major U.S. export to China, will face an additional 10% tariff. This comes on top of existing tariffs. Pork products will be subject to a 15% tariff increase. Other agricultural products facing higher tariffs include fruits, nuts, and wine. These tariffs are expected to further harm American farmers. They have already been struggling with low commodity prices. The tariffs make U.S. products less competitive in the Chinese market. American soybean and pork producers are bracing for significant impacts from China's new tariffs. These tariffs are part of an ongoing trade dispute that has been escalating over the past few years, causing uncertainty and concern among U.S. farmers. China is the world's largest importer of soybeans, a crucial crop for many American farmers. The demand for soybeans in China is immense, driven by the country's need for animal feed and cooking oil. The U.S. was once its top supplier, providing a significant portion of the soybeans China needed. American farmers relied heavily on this market, and the relationship was mutually beneficial. However, Chinese buyers have largely shifted their purchases to other countries, such as Brazil. Brazil has ramped up its production to meet this new demand, taking advantage of the gap left by the U.S. This shift is a direct result of the trade war, which has seen both countries imposing tariffs on each other's goods. The trade war has disrupted long-standing trade relationships and created volatility in the market. The new tariffs will make it even more difficult for U.S. soybean farmers to regain market share in China. Many farmers are already struggling with low prices and high storage costs, and the additional tariffs add another layer of financial strain. The pork industry is also facing challenges. American pig farmers are worried about the future of their exports to China, which is a significant market for U.S. pork. China is a major consumer of pork, with pork being a staple in the Chinese diet. The demand for pork in China is enormous, and American producers have been key suppliers. The outbreak of African swine fever in China has increased demand for imported pork. The disease has devastated China's pig population, leading to a significant shortfall in domestic pork production. However, the new tariffs will make U.S. pork more expensive for Chinese buyers. This price increase could lead Chinese consumers to seek alternative sources of pork, further hurting American pork producers who are already facing tough market conditions. Section 5. Global markets react. Uncertainty casts a shadow. Global financial markets reacted negatively to the news of China's new tariffs. Stock markets around the world fell. Investors are concerned about the escalating trade war. They fear it could lead to a global economic slowdown. The uncertainty surrounding the trade war is causing volatility in the markets. Businesses are hesitant to make investment decisions. Consumers are also becoming more cautious. This uncertainty is weighing on global economic growth. Section 6. Beyond the United States and China, a wider trade web affected. The trade war between the United States and China is having ripple effects beyond the two countries. Other countries are being drawn into the dispute. The United States has imposed tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from Canada and Mexico. These tariffs were imposed on national security grounds. However, they have been widely criticized. Canada and Mexico have retaliated with their own tariffs on U.S. goods. This has disrupted supply chains across North America. The trade war is also affecting other countries that rely on trade with the United States and China. Section 7. The price of protectionism. Consumer goods feel the heat. The tariffs imposed by the United States and China are ultimately passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices. Tariffs on Chinese imports have increased the cost of a wide range of consumer goods. This includes electronics, clothing, and appliances. American consumers are feeling the pinch of higher prices. The tariffs are also hurting American businesses that rely on imported goods. The trade war is increasing costs for businesses and consumers alike. Section 8. A fragile truce? The uncertain future of negotiations. The future of trade negotiations between the United States and China remains uncertain. The two sides have held several rounds of talks. However, they have yet to reach a comprehensive agreement. The Trump administration has accused China of backtracking on its commitments. China has denied these accusations. The trade war is likely to continue for the foreseeable future. It is unclear when or if a resolution will be reached. Section 9. Conclusion: the trade war's ripples spread. The U.S. China trade war is having a profound impact on the global economy. The new tariffs imposed by China are the latest escalation in this ongoing dispute. The tariffs are hurting American farmers, disrupting global supply chains, and increasing costs for businesses and consumers. The trade war is also contributing to uncertainty and volatility in financial markets. The future of trade relations between the United States and China remains uncertain. The world is watching closely as this trade war continues to unfold.